our dear listeners and um, our community members. Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's another Monday, it's another time, another opportunity. We have come your way from Rising Up for Change, and it's a community talk time, community talk show, community talk time. At this time, we come again to talk about the community issues in our own community, things that we need to do, things we need to take care of. And so this evening, we want to thank God for all of you, wherever you are coming across us, whether you are watching live now or you watch later this program, whether you are in Southwest Philly or its surrounding, whether you are driving or you are in your living room or you are in your dining room or in your kitchen, or maybe you are in a park, especially with the nice weather today. We welcome you to this hour community talk, and it's a pleasure to really have you in our company or have us in your company today. Um, and so we want to talk about uh, some of the things that affect our community, and more like we want to deal with them in the next couple of minutes again that we have available to us. But we cannot really thank enough our partner here, Island Vybe, and all our supporters, donors that are supporting this initiative for us. And so we want to thank you for always being there. But Island Vybe, we want to say thank you for your partnership. It's really laudable and valuable. Thank you for all you do. We are joined tonight by the program officer of Rising Up for Change, and I will allow her to introduce herself, and then before we get to the topic for tonight.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back again to this show. We say you're welcome. We hope you have your good evening, and we hope that we can have a good time here tonight. My name is Miss Kebe. Again, you are welcome, and thank you to Oliver for this opportunity. Thank you, Pastor Daniel, for being here always.
It's a pleasure. So today, again, our listeners, wonderful, wonderful people. Remember that because you are there always, that's why we are here on these Mondays. And so tonight we want to talk about two to three important things. The first thing we really want to talk about is hazard preparedness. I want to talk about that in this spring, uh, preparing for summer in 1 week. By next week, Friday, will be entering into summer. Um, but we want to talk about hazard preparedness. But also part of that is in relation as well to COVID, and part of the hazard preparedness will be to COVID as well. So we want to talk about that. And then if we have the time, we want to talk about mental health as well. What all of these mean, how do all of this really affect your mental being or your mental stage, summer, with the upbeat of summer or coming of summer, ending of spring, how you making it, before 6 a.m., seeing the sun rays through your window. How is that really, does that have any impact on you? Um, and also like 8 o'clock, the sun is still shooting out. Is that having any maybe impact on you? We want to hear about that, and so we want to talk about that. So we want to talk about hazard preparedness. Your home safety during this heat. You will be turning on appliances a lot. Your fan will be on. Your air conditioner will be on. It's going to be a lot. And then what is also going to happen is the 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 rates of fire hazard is at a very high stake, right? But as we combine all of this, also not forgetting about you really preparing for, as we move along, taking care as you try to out yourself, getting out with family, friends, so going on mini vacation and so forth, spending weekend out. Uh, Also, you making sure that you are cognizant of the fact that you need to still be vaccinated, or getting your boosters and taking extreme precaution as you drive through this season. So talking about uh, spring has preparedness, right? As prepared to even transitioning to summer. Um, what do you think, the weather and all of that? How is that kind of making up? Thankfully, in the East Coast, we've not had uh, any major flooding issue. Correct me if I'm wrong, especially in our communities. In the Philadelphia here, we've not had that. But what do you make of when we talk about hazard preparedness? What do our people need to really do? What sort of preparedness they need to really get themselves involved in?
Well, like you said, I think for the on our side, we don't experience a lot of floods, hurricanes, and all of that. But hazard preparedness is just like generally looking at things that are hazardous in our environment, or that might be, and just be prepared for just in case something happens. Like now we are about to enter into the summer. It's going to be hot. Usually during the summer there are a lot of fire incidents. People's houses or homes are on fire. The fire service is very busy. You want to make sure that you have all of these necessary things taken into precaution, so that just in case something happens, you already prepared, and you're not totally caught by surprise. Even if you're surprised, but at least you prepare to have things in place that you can use to be able to manage your situations.
Things you can do to be able to manage the situation. That's right. And so, in addition, I just wanted to make sure that I also make my personal contribution to it. In addition to what you just mentioned, when we talk about hazard preparedness, particularly, especially here in the Southwest Philadelphia, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
People usually worry about severe weather events such as thunderstorm, and people they worry about the tornadoes, right? Flooding, they worry about that. Things like heavy rainfalls, seasonal allergies, right? Especially that which is called by pollination. And thankfully, pollination is about to fade away. So things like allergies is probably we're going to put that behind us soon, because we expect that pollination will completely fade away. It will go away. And so being prepared, it helps us to really, really get ourselves involved in, first of all, creating the emergency plan. And so one of the things Rising Up for Change is probably looking forward to do is to create such an emergency plan for our community, where we want to involve people in our community to do so. Uh, so we encourage you, if you are interested to be part of the, drop a comment um, in the comment chat, and so that we can reach out to you. Just drop your comment. You're interested, we'll reach out to you, and then we'll provide you the details, because we're looking at many community members in the Southwest Philadelphia to be a part of this. As we talk about hazard preparedness, um, what kind of other things that come to mind that people need to think about uh, to be prepared for?
Hazard preparedness, looking at all the necessary things you're going to need both in your homes, in your car, as a family or individuals, your emergency plan, like you just said, your first aid kits, your emergency kits. Those are things that you want to check and be sure that you have all of those things planned out, so that you can be able to just reach it whenever there is a need to do so. Um, Talking about flooding, if you live in a flood zone, definitely when you're buying properties to tell you where what if you're in a flood zone, they definitely let you know. If you know that you are in a flood zone, there's a possibility of flooding within your home or within your area. You want to know how to be prepared just in case that place is flooded. You want to be prepared just in case we have, even though we don't usually have tornadoes, but you want to be able to have ideas about these things. So just in case that it pops up, you know exactly what it is, and you have something like honor. Let me just say honor your sleeves, or you know exactly what to do or what it is and what's going to happen. Um, Now with the heat, you want to make sure that your homes are prepared. You want to make sure that you check your roofs. You want to make sure that you have your air conditioning system working properly, both in your homes and in your car, because that is very, very important. You want to try to do all these things so that you can prevent heat stroke and all of that.
Yeah, welcome, Miss Wilson. She was on vacation. Our audience missed you. Take a moment and introduce yourself quickly, please, to our beautiful audience.
Not on vacation, as you can hear my little one is in the background. Hi guys, how are you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I have
Welcome back.
missed you guys.
We sing every time.
Zim, I missed you too.
All
So,
right.
how have you guys been?
We're doing well. We got it. Okay, she needs to take care of a few things and she'll get back. But as we were talking about hazard preparedness in all of this, and remember that COVID is part of hazard preparedness, right? Remember that, taking your vaccine on time is part of hazard preparedness. Yes, you got me right. Yes, that's right. We talk about, you taking your vaccines on time. It's still hazard preparedness. Making that forecast to say, well, I want to make sure that everything is in line. Also, weather forecast is something important. Now, one thing you want to consistently do is to ensure that you are checking the weather before you leave your house, in the morning, so you know exactly what you're going to expect. All right. Hazard preparedness, you are checking the traffic, right, to see how the road going to look like, excuse me, before you leave your home. It's all going to be good, and also trying to leave ahead of time, right? That eliminates not only delays, but also a complete remove stress from you, because you see, you want to go to work, for example, and you left your home late and you are on the road, you experience traffic, it's going to stress you, and that can make you to underperform at your job. You don't want to underperform at your job. So what you need to do is to be able to prepare ahead of time. To prepare ahead of time. Wow. So as we talk about that, and Ms. Kelly, you were talking about what people need to do with their homes. So let's little bit talk about whether it's tenants or whether you are a homeowner, whatever that is. What do they need to ensure to do to get their homes safe during the spring and summer that is already in the corner here?
So you want to check your homes to make sure now that it's summer, is apart from the heat, this is the time that we have a lot of insects, flies, mosquitoes, and all these different bugs. They coming out a lot. You will not see flies outside during the winter like that, but during the summer you start to see a lot of flies. So when you're checking your homes, you want to make sure that you check to be sure there are no openings so that you don't have these coming into your homes. And then with the air conditioning, you want to make sure that if you have central AC or whatever is working properly, you want to make sure, if you don't, you want to make sure that you get your air conditioner. You want to make sure that you have, if you don't want air conditioning, you want to use your fan, you can use your fan. But most often doing extreme heat, fans do not come in handy, so air conditioner is more preferable. You want to make sure that you have your house cool as possible so that you do not have heat stroke. As individuals going out, you want to make sure that you have your sunscreens, During the summer, a lot of people going to the pool. You want to make sure that you be mindful and watchful of that so that drownings and all of those things do not take place. You want to make sure that you have enough water in your home so that you can stay hydrated and do not become dehydrated, which is very common during the summer or during hot environment.
I love that, staying hydrated, but also making sure that you you take care of home maintenance. And I think that is one of the most important thing that I really love about the point you made. Home maintenance, to make sure that you as homeowner, even if you are renting, ensure the safety of your own home. Ensure that, because remember, especially the reason we emphasize on homeowner is that homeowners, once you buy a home, all the responsibilities have been passed to you, versus the renter. Renter is something major break in the house. You are not responsible for that, right? You call your landlord. This is broken.
Right.
That's the advantage. But homeowner, the disadvantage of owning a home is that you're responsible for everything. You're responsible for whatever happened. You see, so that's the disadvantage. But the advantage is that you are you have comfort of your own. You can make 10 things around without that much requiring you to ask for approval from landlord. So, but the thing is, you need to check. For example, like Miss Taylor talk about, your air condition. As you talk about, if you have a central heater, you cooler, you want to check and see everything is okay. But you want to make sure again that you are not just really scattering cables in a place or over, especially if you shut up outlets where you need to plug maybe fan, you need to plug some stuff up, and you passing all these extension cords around. You need to make sure that you, even the extension cords you are connecting, that you clearly watch out for fire hazards of those. So uh, taking care of those will really help you to keep your home uh, clear of trouble or clear of fire. But also checking, as you talk about, the very home, checking for, this is the first time you're getting out, to be able to move around your own home. Checking the well-being of your own home is something that will help to keep your home safe, right? And then to be able to quickly detect early wire, early tears, early damages, you name the rest. So, making sure the smoke detector is very important, right? In this,
Mm-hmm.
the smoke detector should be working, because people, you especially within our community, our African community, we love to cook our potato green, our cassava leaf, and all of those soup. So make sure you have your smoke detectors on. All right, because the heat will be really up, but have your smoke detector. Don't try to, because of the increase of the heat, don't try to quiet down the smoke detector. Very important, right? How you ladies looking at me like that as if you are guilty of what I'm saying?
I am not guilty of what you're saying. I barely cook. But I just wanted to add in that if you do not have one, or if you think yours is outdated, your local fire station provides them for free. So even if you don't have enough money to go get it, that should be an excuse to why you don't have one. Your local fire department definitely provide one for free. They would come and test. I believe they come and test. I gotta look this up, but I believe they come and test your carbon dioxide sensors as well. But they definitely will give you free smoke detectors.
Mm. Oh, so the local fire service company can give free of those?
Right. If you go to the fire department in your area, they would give you free smoke alarms.
Wow, I didn't know that. I'm just hearing that you can get free smoke alarm from your local fire service.
Right. If you can afford to buy it, buy it. But if you can't, there's no excuse not to have it. They do give you free smoke alarms at your local fire station.
Have you heard about that before, Kevin?
I heard about it because we had an inspector here, and I told him I can't afford to replace all these things, and he told me about it at the fire department. So I called them, and they said yes, they do that.
Wonderful.
Because I had the baby, because I always had one in the kitchen, but because I have the baby now, they want it in every hallway and in my room.
That's good.
I love that. I love that. So now let's talk about as we're looking forward to transition in a week and a half. Because by next week Friday we'll be entering into summer, right? As we're looking forward to transitioning into another season, and spring will be putting spring behind. 2024 spring will be going behind us. What is the mental health impact this season bring to people? Like, living early, living from spring to summer, and let's say in the morning, 6 a.m. or 5 something, you see the sun is, beaming into your window, especially if you have your window facing the the east way, and then it's fine. Then you just wake up with that kind of, oh, I'm late for job, and so forth.
But then you get used to it being that bright that early, and then you go, oh, it's early, and you don't know what time it is.
How much of that is an impact? Does that have any mental health impact on us?
I think yes and no. One is yes, it does. It increases stress levels. You wake up thinking you're late for something and you're not really late, or you wake up thinking that it's not late when you really are late. Like that increases, stress levels no matter how you look at it. But then there's another side to say, well, like when a human body goes through changes, most times it comes out stronger. So changes keep us on our toes. You know what I mean?
There are people that get affected mentally just by the change of the season. Some people are affected mostly during the summer, so others are affected during the winter. There's a name for it that I was trying to remember, but I can't remember right now. And yeah, like you see, even during the evening times, during the winter it gets dark so quickly, but during the summer sometimes it's almost 9 o'clock and you see like it's still clear, and you're probably thinking, oh, I still have time to do this, to do that. I don't think it's too late, and before you know it, it's actually really late before you can get home. So yeah, it does have effects on people mentally.
It does have effect on people mentally. So how should people deal with these changes that occurred, weather changes, the transition, this transition period that we face? How should people really deal with it? Because some, especially in our community, not only but so because of the spring now, people don't go to bed early, right? Before you look, it's 11 p.m. and before you look, it's already 6 a.m. Right? How people should really deal with this, because it's become stressful. It become not only stressful, but also it really affect the overall being of people, the output.
I think the best thing is, because like there's really nothing you can actually do about it. That's how it is. So the best thing to do is try not to stress about it and find a way around it instead. Like make adjustments to your schedule. Try to rearrange things just to where there needs to be adjustment, put the adjustment into place. Just to add, even though it's not about the weather per se, but when it's someone that's when a lot of school close, kids at home, which also have a huge effect on people on parents. If you got kids, you're not going to have to wake up in the morning and to drop them off to school, go to work and come back and have, even if you're not working or have that time to yourself because your kids are in school. Now you're going to have them. That's another struggle figuring out what you're going to do with them, programs you have to get them in, or whether they're going to be home with you, which is going to be a lot. These are things too that affects people a lot. And then now, looking at the time, like we're talking about how long the day is now, and then waking up early, you have to like figure, oh, I might be even running late for work, or I have to get it ready and then drop it off whatever I have to do. All of those things too have effect on.
And you just struck a point there, right? Schools have closed. Most schools have closed last week Friday with the kids that are be above or be that are not in daycares. How will parents really, how sure our community, because for other people they may have already planned this. The sad thing about our immigrant community is we usually we react to situation. We don't plan this in advance. We don't budget for things like this. They say, well, when school closed, I need to find a school where I will drop my children up to be able to go to work. We kind of make it to be an emergency situation. We have literally no planning focus on those. We only see that when the situation happens, we say, okay, now we reach to the bridge, we're going to now find a solution to it, right? So now we reach to the bridge now. Most schools have closed last week Friday, and now we are to the bridge we need to cross again. How parents need to prepare to be able to get their children to a caregiver or a caretaker while they continue to go to work. How would all of them, all of us who are parents, how, especially with the immigrant, would really most of the time be hard time. It's now we will begin to figure out, oh, what should I do? Oh, this, and we start calling friends, family. Can I drop my kids off? How do we need to deal with this now that we reach to the bridge that we need to cross?
Sounds like it's time to cross. Again, like it's you just have to like kind of figure out a way, because stressing actually, which is almost inevitable, you somehow have to stress over things, but like stressing doesn't help. It really doesn't help. It just worsens matter. And just to add, it's not just a word to take them. It's also costly too, which is another form of stress adding to what you already have. If you have to take your kids to babysitters, you have to pay. Unless there are family members who might not always be available, it kind of puts some strains on your financial status too. So planning is the first thing which definitely should have been done earlier, but since it's not and we're already to the bridge, you just have to try to figure out ways, reach out to people for help when you need help, which is very important. A lot of time people need help and they do not need help, and we try to figure it out, carry the burden on our own, and it becomes more stressful. But asking for help when you need to, and also as people, if we see people who need help and they reach out, even if they do not reach out, you can also be of help. We kind of help the community. Since we're talking about being our community, it helps the community as a whole. So you want to try not to stress. You want to come up with strategies in place on how to navigate the situations, and ask for help when you need to. And I mean, that's it for me.
Mister, what do you think about that? Our community,
I am going through that right now.
You are. So I see why we're talking about.
I didn't prepare for him tonight. I look.
Okay, say, hey, look at him.
Say hi. So I am dealing with that right now, but for me it's a little different because I don't have that much family close, so I can't really just call in family. And like Miss Kebe said, it's financially hard to get someone to take care of your kid for like, let's say we work 8 hours a day, for 8 hours a day, it's expensive. It's around $250 a week if your child is not used to being in daycare. That's $1,000 a month. So you're talking about families who have to find an extra $1,000 a month for their kids. And those are the kids, like my son can't go to summer camp yet, and summer camp is around, and it's a lot. Like people, I'm learning now that there is resources. You just have to look for them. But for the most part, it's very expensive when your kids are out of commission for the summer. Even for like children who, get food in school, now you have to plan to feed them all the time. And it's different, it's a different thing. Now they eat way more snacks because they're not in class all day. So now you have to buy more snacks. You have to be really mindful. You have to get more activities for them. And then for the kids who are home all day with a relative, like if you do get a relative to stay home with them, they're bored. So now on the weekend, you have to find events and all sorts of stuff to take them to. So it's a strain. You are 100% right, Ms. Kebby, when you're saying that you have to plan for that. For those of us who don't know how to plan for it, because we're new, we're going to have a class on that. But yeah, planning is very, very important. Like today was a long day for my son and I. I planned this day from since last week. It was still a long day. And had I not planned, it would have been a lot worse. So you have to plan. Preparation is the key.
Preparation is a key. Well, friends, wherever you are hearing us, watching us, we want to thank you for being in our company or even allowing us to be in your company tonight. And we really kind of talking about how we can prepare ourselves, health hazards, but also talking about vaccine, but talking about your mental health thing. And let's shift a little bit to the mental health thing, right? Because we think about all of this, you worry about, okay, my kids are out of school, my kid's going to be to maybe a family member, my kid's going to be home and so forth. So if they're going to be to a friend, you're thinking about the health, the safety of them, you're thinking about their health being, whether they're not going to contract a virus from there and bring it home and all of that, get sick. So it brings so much mental tension for us, right? I can imagine you, Miss Wilson, today being home with your kid and today and all of that. You think about, oh, maybe I miss, if you are not up from job, I miss 8 hours, right? Oh, what that going to bring? It's going to increase financial burden. Now, my bill's going to be not be unpaid. They're not going to be paid. Then I have to spend the whole day with my kid, losing hours, losing money, and all of that. So it places a sort of stress, mental stress to you as a parent. So what are some of the ways that we can think about self-care, right? What are some of the strategies we can employ or deploy for self-care to promote our own mental health during this spring and summer that we're about to start in 2 weeks, in 1.5 weeks, rather. What are the self-care strategies, self-care strategies we can deploy to keep us mentally balanced, right? And so forth.
Well, I would say take a break when you need to. Try a piece of relaxation and try to relax your mind. Look, since we're talking about self-care and all of that with regards to the kids being home. Today was one day I really appreciated the teachers. Shout out to all the teachers who take care of our kids when they are in school. Having both of them home today, I was like, yes, this teacher be doing an amazing job with the kids. It's not easy. So just imagine if you have to deal with them around for a very long period of time, it's definitely going to affect you. Not leaving that, there are a lot of things that happens. There are a lot of things that go on in our personal lives. There are a lot of challenges and all of that can stress you up, that will make you. So you always want to make sure that you find a time, even if it's going to be for 10 minutes, you want to use that 10 minutes to just relax your mind, think positively. Like if you have means of taking vacations, do that. It is important. You don't have to go somewhere fancy. You don't have to travel out of the country. You can just go somewhere where unusual, and just have things to take your mind off the normal activities or your day-to-day activities. That is very
Lock
important.
yourself in your bedroom.
Put in your bedroom. Sometimes I go in your bathroom and I'm
Lock it.
Then lock yourself.
Lock yourself in your bedroom. Pretend you're not home. Put
You
all the
don't
cell
think that will
phones.
increase your mental stress?
Take your cell phones off. Take the iPad off. Take everything off. Nobody can reach you. Just 2 hours. Lock yourself away. I think for me, I have discovered that getting a group of moms, because I don't have any mom friends. Um, and the mom friends that I do have, their children are teenagers. So finding a new group with babies, with moms who have babies, was important to me to talk about, certain things and, like activity wise. Um, because it's the small things that get you. People don't, it's a lot of big things, but it's the small things that really push you over the edge. Like today, my son had 3 doctor's visits, and it's like slumping the car seats and the stroller and everything from one office to the other. The big bag, he's kicking up. He's about to get some shots. He's not. It's just been a long day, and it's the small things that get you, like for example forgetting the babe home or not carrying that extra clothes. It's the small things that get you, and it's a lot of small things. But having a group of women that's your peers, or men or women that's your peers and is in the same situation as you, and just being able to voice certain frustrations and not keep it in, is quite helpful.
Quite helpful. Yeah, so as you both were talking, especially you both are moms, right? And sharing your experiences. But also as a dad, I know what it means to me when I am staying with my kids, especially my daughter, even as I sit in this place in my office, like probably before she goes to bed, she's gonna come up and she's gonna be right here, she's gonna obstruct everything. And you imagine when I'm working home and my kids are my son he won't that much come around like that. If I say go do this, he will, but my daughter will always come. He wants to be on my neck. She wants to be on my neck. She wants to be on my lap. She wants to do she wants to help me to type on the computer. So it's just like Miss Ever said. I think teachers are incredible people, and this is the time that parents go to appreciate the work they do. And so talking about that, so and with the self-care strategies that parents can use, especially in the next 2 3 months, you're gonna be home with your children. As you get really mentally stressful with all the things your kids gonna be doing to you, it will be good that you step out, take a time outdoor, see nature, see other things, that would distress you. Go to the park, um, engage in some physical activity. All right, maybe do small activity that will really take your mind completely off any serious thing that matters to you. All right, it's important you do that so that you can relieve the mental tension. And also, it will be good you practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is such that you probably, I will now agree with you. Is to say, lock yourself into, at some point, tell them, okay, you guys go over there. Don't come in this room until this time, right? And then just be mindful, meditate, just have the what we call in theology journaling or self-centering, right? You sit down and you just walk yourself out of it. Maybe listen to music or take something that will really keep you completely off the stressful day you've had. So that will bring you to also a relaxation. Apply something like relaxation techniques, which includes like maybe putting a music on to just watch, or maybe uh watching a game or playing maybe any funny game that will completely make you to uh, to de-stress yourself, a puzzle game. It could be something like that. Um,
I think also to something that's important, really play with your kids, because watching them and taking care of them is not enjoying them. And I think
mm,
we forget to enjoy our kids, like play with them, like not just watch them at the park, but actually play with them, interact in that way. That's stress relieving too, because it makes you laugh, it makes you value them, and it enjoys them. And to enjoy their youthful curiosity is important too. Because I see my son, like one of the most amazing things about him as a baby is to watch him develop and grow and see new things. Like he's turning pages now. Now every book he wants to open, and that's amusing to me because to him, turning pages in a book is the best thing ever. And just to be able to relive that and spend the time with them and watch them and admire them grow, it's a stress reliever too because it makes a lot of the stress worth it when you see them in that light.
mm.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, take time to enjoy them too, and not just take care of them.
You want to add anything, okay?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, sometimes as a kid, you're never gonna know how relaxing that can be. Like just try to act like not to literally do like things that you do sometimes. When playing with them, you get involved. Sometimes you before you know it, you forget about your stress, you forget about those things that were bothering you and all of that, and you just find yourself in their world. So yes, it is true. And like you say, it also creates that boundary with you as a parent and between the parent and the child. So yeah, that's important. And sometimes that even helps instead of them because when they get bored, even if they're watching television or on iPads or whatever, they do get bored. And then they start to bother you, they start but if you get intimate with them, you're playing and all of that, you notice that they will not even bother you. It is not bothersome no more. Instead it's fun. Even though when you start it's hard to end because you don't want to let go. That's another struggle. But yeah, that's important. That's also a form of releasing your stress.
Yeah, and I can testify to that as well. Just to add and maybe close on that point, and we'll move to the last thing we want to talk about. I can testify to that to say sometime like my kids playing and my daughter will come to my chair and then she will grab my hand, daddy come and see this. And then she wants me to see what is it that she's doing. And so that sometimes it de-stress me out completely to say yeah, the moment I take and spend with them, it's really kind of make them feel good, but also it helps me to de-stress and then recalibrate as well. But that's something that parent can do because as we transition into all of this season, moving from winter, we came to spring. Now we are about to leave spring, and especially with the long day and short night. Before you came on, we were talking about before you look, it's 11 o'clock already, right? Imagine it's almost 10 minutes to 8 o'clock. The sun is still shooting out there. So by 8 o'clock, the sun will still be. Then before you say, "Oh, let me relax," it's already 10 o'clock. Before you say, "Oh, let me go," try and come maybe come and rest. It's 11, 12 o'clock, and by the time you close your eyes and open them, oh my gosh, it's already 6 a.m. And then we'll talk about all the stress. Like if you're going to drive to work, maybe a couple of minutes, you know how much that's going to stress you. You wake up late before you run to shower, get dressed, get that set up, and you are really worried about the traffic. And, it's horrible.
Or
Um,
listen, I have the motto like I have been a little at ease, like, yo, I can't help it. And I say yo, like just to remind myself, yo, I can't help it. Because I'm late to everything now, which is annoying. I'm always late to everything. and you're slopping like with a baby bag, and just you gotta just right now I'm just in a wusa mode. I didn't make it. I didn't go on time. I hope people understand. I hope they don't. We gotta be, more understanding with ourselves and our kids, and not take on the stress of it too much, because I have noticed people who work really hard and is highly demanding, they're usually the most stressed people on the planet. And that's because they have high standards for themselves. They have to be on time. They have to do this. They have to do that, the other. And while those are very commendable traits to have, when you have kids, like we're talking about preparing for the kids, sometimes it just doesn't go your way. Like it just doesn't. And to surround yourself with people who understand that.
That's right. And so, talking about all of those, it requires support from every area you can get it. So, how can us, Philadelphians, or the environment or the surrounding communities, how can each of us really support each other, you know, uh, you know, each other's mental health being, right? Looking at all the things that are happening, hazard preparedness, or getting vaccination, being up to date, and all of that. How can we support each other mental health being during this summer break?
I think we could. I have two ways in my head. One, if you're a part of a group, and you should be, like you're watching us now, send some information to somebody. Tell them, hey, I feel them talk about how the mental awareness, and being prepared. Maybe we should start a pool, like like a pool of moms, the 4 or 5 moms that get together every week, and one mom gets off. You know what I mean? Like if 3 moms watch the kids, one mom is off every week. That can help. Like start, instead of like car pool, start babysitting pools, and that can help. And if you don't trust anybody with the kids, I don't know how to talk about that. But you could also share awareness, like we talked about going to the fire station and getting smoke alarms. Share that information with somebody. We could definitely share more information and help out. And if you see somebody struggling, first of all, don't be afraid to ask for help. And if you see somebody struggling and you can help. It's important. We live in an environment here where everybody looks out for themselves. It's not that where most immigrants, where we come from, it's not that way where we come from. We look out for each other, kids. It's village mentality. It's like what they call small town mentality here. But then we move here and we adopt this attitude of individualism, and we don't look out for each other. We don't help each other. We don't just pick up the phone. Hey, how you doing? We don't do it. It's funny because the good habits we tend to lag in picking up, and the bad habits we pick up so quickly. You gotta look out for each other. My son agrees.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was going to say, like she said, ask for help. And as individuals, as a community, if you see a person or persons who need help and you're available to help, you're in a position to do so, offer to help. Because sometimes people will be in need, but they will not help. Like you just stated, over here, people don't usually do that. Where we come from, you don't even need to ask. Like you don't need to ask for permission. You can be going to work, going to the market, or you just leave your kids. And people, there are a lot of people around.
We would never. I'm 40 years old. I was never in a summer camp. Like very rare, I went to summer camp, but my mom made it through the summer.
Yeah, so offer help when you can, and then ask for help when you should. Don't be too shy. If you do not get help, that's okay. At least you tried. And then call people, check on people. Sometimes just a phone call you might see as something little, but that could be something huge to someone. You don't know what people are going through. People are going through a lot. So just a phone call, hey, how are you? You never tell what the response might be, you know, or what might be happening at that point that you will be of help. Look out for older people who will need help. Render help to them. just be a part of a caring community. Sometimes it just starts with a person. And if you
Pas-
always act of kindness, there are other people around you who are watching. Sometimes it looks like people are not seeing what you're doing, but trust me, they are watching. And before you know it, people will maybe then what you talk about, like the community of moms and all of that. These are ways that things come up. Somebody could take the initiative, and then a lot of people are helpful to me. I think I can also help too.
Pastor Reverend, other than being a pastor, other than running a charity, other than, you know, volunteering at your church, other than staying up late at night trying to help the community, how can you help your community?
So it's good that we're discussing about this, and because we particularly find ourselves in a stage that given all that is happening around us, we need support. And like every one of you have said, we need support, from each other. Particularly, it, you know, if we get stressful with the nature by itself, the weather by itself. Like I said, by now, pretty soon it's going to be 8 o'clock, but you won't believe the sun is still out there. It's stressful already by itself. Waking up early in the morning, and then before you look, the sun is already up, but then you realize that you're almost getting late. So we need support because we need to reach out to our friends when we need to talk to someone. We need to reach out to, if you feel like you need to have a conversation with, for example, with a pastor, book out an appointment and call and say, I'm stressed. I need you to just talk to you. I think find the people you really trust to be able to talk to them to de-stress yourself out of everything, right? Talk to your families, talk to your neighbors, as you all say. But most importantly, one way we can do so is by you offering your services, volunteering. There are a lot of things that will happen in the community. Volunteer yourself, be a part, and then you're going to relieve your mental tension, right? You're going to relieve your mental tension, and it also helps to build up your emotional support, right? When you're among people, you build up your emotional support with them, and what that also does is it allows you um, to be able to see what other people are doing, how they are making up with life in this very challenging moment. Uh, Also, make sure you connect with the resources that are available in your community. All right, reach out to look on a community organization like Rising Up for Change. We are right here in the Philadelphia, Southwest Philadelphia, 1628 South 58th Street. We are also in Derby. Reach out. The resources that are available, make them available for you. But don't think you are alone, right? Everyone is involved. Get the help that you need, and value the community that you are part of. Don't say when you think that the community is going this way. Sometimes just go and affiliate and just go and be part. It helps you to forget about all the stress, all the big bills, and all those stuff they call from Africa or the other places, the Caribbean. Help me, and it makes you to detoxify all those things and recalibrate and get new energy. So you need to understand that.
Mind that you can't always ask for help. You have to extend your hand as well. And
Mm,
sometimes we find a lot of pleasure in helping other people.
mm, mm, exactly. And so these are some of the ways we can do it. And I mean, you all said it so well because this is something that everyone is experiencing, right? Nobody can deny the fact that, well, the long day and shorter night is not affecting you. It is. It is. You know, if you want to know that, say, okay, watch up and see. Before you look, it's going to be 11 o'clock tonight. And before you look tomorrow morning, it's going to already be, as soon as you lay down, it's going to be early in the morning. And then you start thinking, oh my God. And then you, can I wake up? You will be obligated to get out because you know very well that you need to go look for daily bread. Uh-huh. Well, thank you guys. It's been a very wonderful time. And want to thank all of you, our listeners out there. Thank you for being in our company. And if you find all of this interesting, we can share a number of things. Also, if you point you to the rightful resources. But want to thank Allen Vybe for the support and collaboration, and all of our donors for the support and the providing for to continue to help our community with this information. What are some of your closing comment on this conversation we've been having tonight?
Well, we hope this conversation was meaningful. We hope you took something from there, and we hope there are some things, some positive things that we said that you'll be able to run with and try to implement. And just to our HSC Rising Hope for Change, we have an event that's going to be coming up soon. It's going to be on the 29th of this month. We want to invite you. We're going to send out more invitations. So things that we want to discuss, like what we discussed here today, dealing with stress, trauma, and all of that. But more information is going to be posted about that or discussed during our next meeting. So thank you, Alan Vybe. Thank you to all of our listeners, our viewers who say thank you so much. Thank you, Pastor Daniel. Thank you to our sponsor for this opportunity, and we hope that we can continue to have these conversations so that we can continue to help our community. You are welcome.
Thank you. Ms. Wilson, what your parting comment?
Like to apologize for my son. He's had a
No,
long
no
day.
need. He's part of the talk show.
But I would like to say that we do at Island Vibes, we appreciate this particular show. It's real conversations, real people. I would like to say that we have a Caribbean cookout coming up. On the 11th, I believe. Ian, if I'm wrong, correct me, jump in. On the 11th of August coming up. So if you need an event to take your children to, it's going to be amazing. We have DJs
outside. Send a flyer. We want to be a part of it. Send a flyer. We definitely
I'm
going
to
to
post you a flyer. So it's definitely happening on the 11th. We're outside. If you're listening right now, you could go to well, we'll post up the flyer. I think Ian is going to post up the flyer and you'll see where you could go for tickets because the tickets are free. You just need to download them. And if you want us to have a booth and we are extending that out to you, you could reach out to us. My number is 917-826-4163. You could reach out. You could have a booth there, whether you want to, display food or any island crafts or anything like that. If you want to have an information booth, we have those available as well. So you could reach out. Again, it's on the 11th of August. It's going to be a lot of food, a lot of amazing food. Also, we have our kids charity event coming up that we are going to be announcing. I can't remember the date on that right now. Again, Ian is going to correct me, but I just want you guys to know that it's going to happen and it's available. We also wanted to say thank you for this for Community Health Show to be able to have these conversations. I don't have these conversations on our regular show, and just being a regular mom and just freestyling, I should say. This is one of my stress relievers. So thank you guys so much, Reverend Daniel.
Thank you.
Pastor Reverend Daniel, I appreciate you guys. Miss Kebe, I appreciate you guys. I know I've been out for a couple of weeks, but I did miss being on air with you all.
Listen, thank you. It's been a great, great moment, and we really appreciate you being here tonight with us. Thank you, everyone. We wish you a pleasant week. Take care of yourself. Take care of your being, but also your health, your safety, and prepare. Don't allow emergency to overtake you with things that you really have control over. It's better to forecast things and prepare for them. We love you, and until then, we